Alright, I'm going to be teaching you how to build fast in Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 5. And as always, if you aren't subscribed to the channel, now is a really good time to subscribe because I have tons more awesome content coming out soon that you wouldn't want to miss. Also remember to turn on the notification bell so you'll know whenever I upload a new video. Okay, so the first thing that affects how fast you build in Fortnite is your sensitivity. Now, the higher your building sensitivity is, the faster you can generally build, but to an extent. Because if your building sensitivity is way too high for you to control, then you will start misplacing build pieces. I would say a building sensitivity of somewhere between 1.5 and 2.5 is a good area. So if you are lower than 1.5, then you can start with 1.5 build sensitivity and then you can slowly work your way up. Also, if you are higher than 2.5, then I recommend lowering it down to at least 2.5 because even if you think you are used to it, a high sensitivity will always be really difficult to use, which will also result you in misplacing more build pieces. But if you think you'll be fine, then go ahead, but these are just my recommendations. The second tip I could tell you to allow you to build faster is to decrease your crosshair movement while you are building. Now, as you can see from the clip, if you build a wall at the end of the first one, then you build another wall next to it at the start of the second wall, you will use way less crosshair movement, which will allow you to build the two walls much faster. You can also build those same walls with your crosshair at the middle of the first wall and then move your crosshair at the middle of the second wall, but obviously it will waste more time and it will be way slower. So here's two clips of me doing 90s. The first clip being the wrong way to do 90s because it covers lots of crosshair movement, so it'll be way slower. And the second clip being the correct way to do 90s because it covers way less crosshair movement, thus it allows for it to be quicker. So what you can do to improve on this is to free build and practice building while trying to keep your crosshair nice and controlled as possible. The more you free build and practice, the more easy it will be for you to keep your crosshair nice and controlled while building. The next thing you need to be able to do to build much faster in Fortnite is to learn and master lots of different types of building techniques, especially the commonly used ones such as 90s, tunneling, high ground retakes. You get the idea. The more techniques you learn and practice, the easier it will be to build quicker because you'll get used to using those techniques so often, which will also allow you not just to build faster but also make less mistakes when using those techniques. I recommend that you learn and master one technique at a time because trying to master more than one technique at a time can actually take much longer than just trying to do it one by one. So learn a technique that you would like to master. I would start with the simple ones first that are commonly used, then I would work my way up gradually to do the more difficult one. Over time you'll start to notice that you are building much more quickly than usual. You should also play zone wars and box fights against real players in creative so that you can use your newly learned building techniques against real players because it will also pressure you just like in a real game situation, unlike free building. So use a combination of both methods to practice. The next thing that you can do to improve your building speed is to put yourself in situations where you need to build fast. Now at first that might sound crazy, but the thing is, if you do this enough, you'll feel more comfortable when it comes to getting forced to build fast, which will also allow you to improve your building speed in general because you'll get used to building faster than usual, which will eventually be implemented into your normal building speed, allowing you to build faster. Now a good example of this can be when an opponent has high ground and you're in the low ground. So what you can do is try to challenge the opponent for high ground because it will force you to build much faster than normal so you can get high ground. In this case, you want to use lots of high ground retakes and 90s to try and overtake high ground from the opponent as quick as possible. I personally always use this method to improve my building speed, so I have tested this method out myself and I could tell you that it 100% works. The final tip that affects your building speed in Fortnite is how high your ping is and how steady your FPS is. So if you didn't know already, ping affects how quick you build quite a lot because if your ping is really high, it can result you in placing build pieces much slower than usual. FPS also plays a role in how fast you build because if your FPS is higher and it also doesn't experience crazy drops, it will be much easier and smoother to build, which will make it way easier to build quickly. But I would say ping affects build speed much more than FPS in general. I'll be making a video in the near future where I'll be covering how to reduce ping and input delay in Fortnite, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss when that video comes out and future videos I upload. Okay, so I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, be sure to drop a like on this video if you haven't already. Also feel free to comment letting me know what Fortnite tip videos you would like to see next, and I'll consider making them. But anyways, I'll see you next time.